स्वागत है सभी का मेरे YouTube चैनल पर। आज मैं B.Ed फर्स्ट ईयर पेपर नंबर फर्स्ट चाइल्डहुड एंड ग्रोइंग अप का क्वेश्चन लेकर आया हूं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का क्वेश्चन। टॉपिक कंसेप्ट ऑफ थिंकिंग। इंट्रोडक्शन। Thinking and imagination are the two main mental processes which help in the learning process. Both are very important aspect of one's cognitive behavior. Most of the man's invention and discoveries in the area of art, culture, science, medicine, engineering, and agriculture are the result of human thinking and imagination. Thinking is also related with reasoning, decision making, and problem solving, which are all higher mental abilities. One of the main objectives of education is to develop these abilities by providing varied opportunities to the students through curriculum and other co-curricular activities. ये इंट्रोडक्शन में आपने लिखना है। नेक्स्ट, concept of thinking. Thinking is an important kind of human activity. Man has the ability to think and reason, which is necessary for successful living. The challenges and problems faced by the individual or by society in general are solved through serious efforts involving thinking and reasoning. Thinking is manipulating the world internally with the help of symbolic processes. It makes use of memory, imagination, reasoning, or problem solving. Thinking takes many forms, including imagination, daydreaming, and fantasizing, etc. Definition. According to Gilmer, thinking is a problem solving process in which we use ideas or symbols in the place of overt activity. According to Morgan, it is the sequence of symbolic processes. It makes use of symbols, percepts, इमेजेस एंड कंसेप्ट्स। तो जब भी आप कोई क्वेश्चन करें उसमें कम से कम हमने डेफिनेशन जरूर लिखनी है। करेक्टरिस्टिक्स। थिंकिंग है जो उसकी करेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या हैं, उसकी विशेषताएं क्या हैं। थिंकिंग इन्वॉल्व्स कन्वर्ट मोमेंट्स ऑफ मसल्स। थिंकिंग इज द मैनिपुलेशन ऑफ सिंबल्स। थिंकिंग इज एसेंशियली ए कॉग्निटिव एक्टिविटी. Thinking is described as a problem solving behavior. In thinking, there is mental exploration rather than motor exploration. Thinking is a symbolic activity as a mental solution of the problem is carried out through some signs, symbols, and mental images. It is always directed towards achieving some goals. Steps of thinking. Presence of problem, different ideas, adjusting idea to hypothetical situation, use of trial and error, activeness. These are the steps of thinking. Types of thinking. First, perceptual thinking. It is the form of thinking in which we make use of sensation and perception. Interpretation of sensation according to one's experiences. It is also called concrete thinking as it is carried out on the perception of actual or concrete objects and events. So, this is the simplest form of thinking. Conceptual thinking. Concepts are formed with the help of observation, analysis, comparison, and mental unification. On the basis of past experiences, we reach at some definite decision while keeping in view the future. Unlike perceptual thinking, this does not require the perception of actual objects or events. It is an abstract thinking as one make use of concepts, the generalized ideas and language. It is regarded as being superior to perceptual thinking as it economizes efforts in understanding and problem solving. Third point is imaginative thinking. Here, mental images are used and employed by using mental images and memory. Logical thinking. It is the highest type of thinking. Here, we make use of various concepts with a definite purpose and link them together in a logical order. Creative thinking. This type of thinking is associated with one's ability to create or construct something new, novel, or unusual. It looks for new relationships and associations to describe and interpret the nature of things, events, and situations. Next, convergent thinking. Here, an individual has the tendency to find out the one most appropriate idea or response. It is rigged, stereotyped, and mechanically operated. It includes remembering, recognition, and manipulation of some concrete material. Convergent thinking is the basis of intelligence. Next, divergent thinking. Divergent thinking it has been regarded as the distinctive aspect of creative thinking. It allows as many responses as possible. It is characterized by flexibility, originality, and fluency. It entails the expression of ideas, responses, choices, and line of action different from that of the general population. Next point, critical thinking. It is a type of thinking that helps a person in deviating from his own personal beliefs, prejudices, and opinion to find out the facts and discover the truth, even at the expense of his basic belief system. In this way, it represents a challenging thought process which leads a person to new avenues of knowledge and understanding. Next, reflective thinking. This is a higher form of thinking. It aims at solving complex rather than simple problems. It requires reorganization of all the relevant experiences and finding of new ways of reacting to a situation or of removing hurdles instead of a simple association of experiences or ideas. Next, associative thinking. It is also called non directed thinking. There are times when we find ourselves engaged in a unique type of thinking which is without a goal. It is reflected through dreaming, free association, fantasy, delusion, daydreaming, and other free flowing, uncontrolled activities. Next, lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is a term coined by Edward de Bono for the solution of problems through an indirect and creative approach. Lateral thinking is about reasoning that is not immediately obvious and about ideas that may not be obtainable by using only traditional step by step logic. Tools of thinking. Percepts. Percepts stimulate thinking. Many other percepts will help in thinking. Percepts are some kind of perception. Perception is the first event which leads from the stimulus to action. In the simplest sense, a stimulus is any sort of energy change, that is to say, some event which can set off a response. Images, they are kind of symbols which include the faulty recollections or perceptions. Past experiences of an individual move around in one's mind in the form of images. Images may be recalled through conscious efforts, but they also flash on the mind of involuntarily. Next, concepts. A concept is a general idea that stands for a general class, represents the common characteristics of all the objects or events of this general class. Concepts are indispensable in thinking. Classification of objects is done on the basis of concepts. Next, symbols. They are representatives of general thoughts. Thus, the use of symbols in thinking saves time and energy. Next, formula. They are small formula and contain a word of meaning. Thinking is stimulated and developed. Comprehensive use of formula is made in arithmetic and science. The use of formula also results in the economy of time and energy. Language. Language is the most efficient and developed vehicle used for carrying out the process of thinking. When one reads, writes, or hears words, phrases, or sentences, or observes gestures in any language, one is stimulated to think. Reading and writing of literature also help in stimulating and promoting the thinking process. Factors affecting thinking or educational implications. फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग, देखिए ये कुछ पॉइंट हैं जो हमारी थिंकिंग को अफेक्ट करते हैं और इन्हीं को जब हम थोड़ा सा चेंज कर दें तो हमारे ये एजुकेशनल इम्प्लीकेशंस भी हो जाते हैं। जैसे अटेंशन एंड इंटरेस्ट। भाई आपकी जो अटेंशन है या आपका जो इंटरेस्ट है वो आपकी जो थिंकिंग है उसको अफेक्ट करता है। मोटिवेशन, इंटेलिजेंस, टाइम लिमिट, फ्री फ्रॉम इमोशन, फ्री फ्रॉम सुपरस्टिशन, knowledge of language and concept, contact with society, reasoning ability, discussion. So these are the factors affecting thinking or educational implications of thinking. Thanks for watching. वीडियो अगर आपको पसंद आई है तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर देना, वीडियो को लाइक करना, शेयर करना और हिंदी मीडियम वाले स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी मैं जल्दी ही लेकर आऊँगा। थैंक यू।